Good morning. Happy Saturday. How are y'all doing today? We are in some really fascinating astrology. There's so much changing, and these changes are really great opportunities if you live your life with intention and purpose. And if you are focused on becoming a better you, this astrology is amazing. And I I love understanding it to the degree that I do because it helps me relax. It helps me find peace with the experience. It helps me trust the process, and that's very important in such unknown times, right? Like it feels good where things are really uncertain to be able to, for me, to be able to know that there's a greater purpose to this. This is just not a random thing happening in my life, or, the world's not just falling apart and there's no other option. Yeah, the world that we have known is falling apart, but there is another option. There's a new world being birthed, and that world is birthed through your consciousness, through your awareness of your connection to source, the divine within you. And many of us have been taught to believe that God is outside of us, which is why there are so many systems that source our energy and drain our energy, because we have been taught, conditioned to believe in external gratification, external affirmation. You need a doctor to tell you what's going on with your body rather than you being able to talk to your body and discover what's happening in your body. You need in order to source your food, you have to go out to the grocery store. In order to educate your children, you have to send them somewhere. Like, we've outsourced everything. And now, because of that, we don't really have a true relationship with ourselves. One of the things that was so fascinating for me when I stopped being a Christian and I really started learning and studying, I was like, wow, Christianity, how my experience was that Christianity really dumbed me down, because there was this, I was, Jesus will take care of it. God will do it. And not that there isn't some validity in that, but it took away the responsibility of, why am I in this experience? What have I done to create this experience? It just wasn't, there wasn't this level of accountability and responsibility to understand that because God was an external idea, I didn't understand that I was creating my life from inside of myself. And so I literally was like, Christianity made me dumb. Like, it really made me not capable, not understanding. Like, I didn't understand my emotions, my feelings. I didn't understand my body. I didn't understand the things that were going on inside of me. Simply put, like, when I was growing up, we were just told, you're having all of these hormonal changes, all of this stuff around sex, and you're just told, don't do it. Just don't do it. It's a sin, and that's what I mean when I give an example of Christianity dumbing me down, like not giving me explanation, like, these are your hormones. These hormones are happening because of this. This is how you relate to them. They're showing up in your body. Information, clarity, to enhance my intelligence, my practice, my ways of being life. And Christianity just didn't offer that. And so, many of us are still living from those sort of perspectives of things are external. Our information, our wisdom is all external. And that couldn't be further from the truth. So while we're in Mercury Retrograde in Sagittarius, today is some very interesting astrology. So first of all, we have Mercury Retrograde in Sagittarius, meaning Mercury is going back. It's time for review. Sagittarius is your beliefs, reviewing your beliefs, what you believe in. And Mercury is square Saturn in Pisces today. So Saturn in Pisces is literally cleaning out your subconscious. It is, asking you to clean out the shame, the blame, the guilt, all of that, to release that, so that you can discover what's really there. What's really there, you know what I mean? And how do you release that is through forgiving yourself. You know, I have done a lot of work to forgive myself for neglecting my own perspective. Like, I remember when I was a little girl, my grandmother first told me about Jesus. Like, I remember it. I remember she first told me about Jesus, and I remember the feeling inside of me that was like, oh, she's telling me about this man who has come to save us already. And because he saved us, I don't have to save myself. Oh, I don't have to save myself. I was 3 years old when I had that thought. 3 years old thinking, oh, somebody else is going to do it for me. And so I had to remember that and forgive myself for that choice. Forgive myself for giving my power away. And here's the thing, people might say, well, you were just a child. The universe doesn't see childhood as separate from the wholeness, right? So children's choices are even more powerful often than adult choices because there's such purity behind it. So children are sometimes often more powerful, more responsible because they're so close to the veil. Their power works so well. So what I believed as a child really got activated, and it handicapped my adult experience because I had given all my power away from childhood. And so, oh yeah, Roz, Taz, that's really good. So today is a great day to do some self-forgiveness work. Oh, I love it. You know, it's one of the things that has been a part of my experience for me is that I have been very much I have a Pisces rising, and I have Venus and Mercury in Libra, and I'm a Virgo. I have been a horrible people pleaser most of my life. My life set me up to be a people pleaser. And I have felt like I have to say yes to people when people make requests of me. I have felt like I almost owe it to them, or I need to say yes so they like me, or so they create some sort of safety for me. And I've been learning to say no. Like, I'm not interested in that. That doesn't have any value to me. And doing it in a way that's true for me, and honoring myself, and not having shame or guilt for honoring my truth, and not giving my energy away in ways that don't value me. I have found myself saying yes to things where the people in my life are benefiting from the exchange, but I'm not really benefiting from it. I'm not getting anything out of it. And so now I'm learning to surround myself with people where it's reciprocity, where I actually feel fed and aligned and affinity, and no longer saying yes to things that are just because, oh, I want them to like me, or, oh, they think I should, so for today, Mercury Retrograde is, how have you been misusing your energy, so to say? How have you, and it, it could be, it could be family patterns, because Saturn in Pisces is family patterns. Like maybe you were raised by a mother who didn't know her value and self-worth, so she sacrifices herself for her family and everyone, and she just doesn't even have any sense of self. And so you experience that in yourself, that you don't have a deep sense of self because it's a family pattern, right? So you can begin the work of self-forgiveness. And when we do that work, like I've been this week, working with my family more, and, being prayerful with my family and praying about my family. When you do that work, it frees you up, but it also begins to free up your family. And so my experience is that there are levels to this, right? Like, my desire is compassion. I don't want to make anybody wrong for how they feel or what their needs are. It's just to prioritize myself. I'm just going to prioritize my own needs. Let everyone else be responsible for their needs, and I'm going to prioritize my needs. And because I'm a Virgo, I'm happy to do things alone. I don't have a great sense of need for, like, I've really learned to heal my need for externalizing, like sourcing my power outside of me. And that is the path for me, for womanhood at this time. Now, do we need one another and we need community? Absolutely. We totally do. Because what I have discovered is that when I'm with others, especially if I'm not the smartest person in the room, like, I love to be in spaces where I'm not the smartest person in the room. And though I'm also in places where I'm the teacher in the room, and that's fine. But when I get to be the student in the room, oh my God, it's orgasmic, because I get to learn and I get to grow. And it's not that I don't grow from being the teacher. I do. I really want to say everything serves. But there is really something profound about having my cup filled by others, with other information, with new ideas. And it's just been it's a powerful experience. So yes, exactly. Community must reflect our own journey and discernment. It is exactly. And so it's my intention is to build community where women are in spaces, and men, where we are activating one another into our magic and our healing, especially women of color. Like, I have a deep desire to spend time in spaces with women of color and Black women in particular, because it is a different resonance. For me, there is something that I access in spaces with Black women that I don't get in spaces with white women. It's just real for me. I just got to say that. And though I value both experiences, there is something really unique about being in the spaces with women who come from the legacy of this heritage in a Black person's body. And it is unique, it is powerful, and I value it above all others right now, is what I will say. And I am happy to be in spaces with women who are not Black, but I am more, I invite them to come into, I invite us to create communities where there's also a diversity, is what I'll say. So we can learn and benefit from one another. I think there's deep value in that for me. I've done that a lot. Let me say it that way. I have done that a lot. I have been in spaces where there are 300 people and 6 of them are Black and most of them are white. And that has been an interesting experience. It has served in the ways that I have used it. But it has also been interesting because I have found that these spaces that are dominant led by white people, they often don't have space for other experiences that include people being threatened or feeling threatened, abused and oppressed by the system. I have seen that they might not have the perspective of what privilege looks like and how we are in a system that has been really beneficial to them and oppressive to others. I am fortunate that I have been a person who has learned how to use the energy of oppression to serve me. I have learned how to use it to serve me. I have learned how to use oppression as a benefiting energy to me. And that is rare still, but it's becoming unrare. Like, I know that everything serves. And so I can go and be in all spaces and thrive. And I prefer to be with Black people, teaching Black people how to benefit from all energies, rather than being in spaces with white people who are benefiting from the work that I have done to be able to hold space with them. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to use my energy to benefit white people because of the work that I don't want to teach them. I don't want I don't want to do it. And I have about 2 or 3 white people in my life that I am in deep, loving connection with, friends. And there is a strong benefit for me to be friends with them. They meet me in a place that is rare for white people to go. They meet me there, and I love it. It is healing. It is enriching for me and for them, but it is rare. And I have, with all of these people, in some ways, I am a teacher in some ways, but they offer value to me that is an exchange, that is enriching. And so I love it. But I'm very particular about it. 4 people, 4 actually, because my astrologer friend, Michael Lennox is, and we have a deep relationship. He's dope as fuck. And I really benefit, and he does as well, because there's deep honesty, and I get to bring my whole self to that experience. So with Mercury Retrograde today, you want to begin to look at places where you have suppressed yourself, where you can offer forgiveness to yourself, and where you can access the power to be more of yourself and not less, where you are not shrinking back any longer. Now, here's the thing about that. We are becoming entirely new beings. Like, in 10 years, we will not recognize humanity. We are totally shifting. And that means that gently, graciously, lovingly, we need to let go of more than we might think. But it has to be done gently, slowly, lovingly. And so, be rigorous with yourself is what I'm trying to say. Like, tell yourself the truth. Don't hold back. Don't hold back. And it is, and honor where you are, like, honor where you are. And it's like, I honor where I am. I don't force myself to be what other people need me to be to make them comfortable. I don't do that. I used to, but I don't do it anymore. I honor the process that I'm in, and I have the courage to tell myself the truth and to meet my own needs. And knowing that I'm on a continual path. I am continuing to heal. I am continuing to evolve. So one of the things that's funny to me right now, like, the world is so hilarious, because the world that I grew up in was very much, this is what a lady should do. This is proper. This is not, like, I was born in the 60s. And it's so interesting. I've been noticing, this healthcare provider who was unalived, and just the level of, like, our humanity is really wonky right now, like, on every level. The way that healthcare systems are malfunctioning, the way the citizens needs aren't being met. Like, we can't outsource our healthcare any longer. We need to communicate with our bodies and heal ourselves. Like, we can't believe that other people are responsible for our healthcare, but that's the system that we've been set up in. But this Mercury retrograde is an opportunity for us to really see clearly how we've given our power away, how we have given our power away, and what that looks like. And so if you all are interested in, doing your own private coaching with me, you can check out my website at healwithmoonmama.com. I would love to support you in coaching. I wanted to thank everybody who yesterday gave a donation. Thank you so much. Like, I was like, oh, a lot of people are listening. Like, so I really appreciate that. I appreciate knowing that you all are listening, and that even though you don't leave comments or you're not sharing your own personal experiences in the ways that I am, that the work is benefiting you. And so thank you for that. I really appreciate that level of connection through the internet and through your sharing and your donations or whatever you do. So thank you. All right, you all, have a really beautiful day. The moon is in Aquarius. This is a day of, with friends, community, but the healing work, releasing shame, guilt, all of that, like, giving yourself permission to be true to yourself, to be authentic. Oh, the moon is actually in Pisces. The moon is not in Aquarius. The moon is in Pisces. And so the moon is in Pisces where Saturn is. And so we are really able to dig into those places that are, we have suppressed, that have been pushed away, that have been, that have made us feel unsafe, and go into them and look at it and love yourself and take responsibility, be accountable for yourself, and know that you can come on the other side of this with a different experience. All right, you all. Peace and blessings. Healwithmoonmama.com. Go check out my website. Bye-bye.